I have to ask,
Yeah.
you authored 5 books. One was on UNDA numbers. My favorite UNDA is 243. That's what I was given to as in college. I had a lot of UNDA 243 for
Yeah.
late night drinking, and it helped for
Yeah.
sure.
It definitely helps.
Yeah,
Yep.
what would you say for people that aren't, familiar kind of with UNDA numbers or anything, the benefits of it? Because I've known UNDA since I was little in my life, but so many people when they first encounter like, what is this?
The fact is that it's because it's a number and not a name. People say, well, I mean, because they're used to having a
Yeah.
prescription, as a name. So it's no name; it's just a number per se. So the history of Luna numbers started in the 19 teens per se, and late 1800s even. And because of tuberculosis, that was sort of rampant at the time, and 25% of the European population died in the late 1800s of TB. There was no treatment for TB other than sanitariums and isolate people. So the homeopaths of the day, the eclectics of the day, basically said we got to look for is there some way, because homeopathy was 100 years in place by then. They were looking for a way to support patients who had tuberculosis per se, and so three physicians at the time, being eclectics, being herbalists, being understanding Chinese medicine, etc., they said, let's start using the principles of homeopathic medicines, the principles of Chinese medicine, the principles of Steiner was then of anthroposophical medicine, etc. So they took the sort of the medicines, the understanding of the day, and they basically started combining things energetically. And I would say they used the model of Chinese formula. So if people have been to an acupuncturist who uses herbal medicines, they know that the formula is there's not just one herb. It's 4 or 5 different herbs that you brew up. You drink it. Typically, you take one of the herbs out, you put a different one. It's a totally different formula. So what these three doctors did is they did the same idea, and they basically made remedies using principles of Chinese, anthroposophical, homeopathic, etc. And they made these compounds, and they happened to be called UNDA because UNDA
Mm,
was the company that made the remedy,
right.
per se. UNDA by definition means undulating wave. That's what it
Oh,
means
okay.
in
Did not know that.
that's all. That's the word. What the word itself means. But the company itself was. They just said, "Well, we'll just." That's the company was made. They make the
Yeah.
remedies. They combine it, and the formulas that were made. There's 1,002 formulas. But the pharmacists of the day said, "Oh, we can't make this. We can't keep all these herbs because we're talking about dozens and dozens and dozens." So they combined it. They are 76 formulas that are still available, and then I have taught literally hundreds, if not thousands, of doctors to use UNDA numbers. And then people say, "Well, what UNDA number do you use for a cold, or what UNDA number do you use for this or that, or would you just add 243, which is probably your main liver support
Yep.
remedy per se?" So the remedies themselves support metabolic function. They
Mhm.
support physiology. They don't treat illness. You when you understand a disease, when you understand what the physiology is done or is doing, these physicians were able to understand that, well, if the kidney or the liver is involved, these are the formulas that when we combine them will best support the liver and kidney function. And that's how you'll get over an acute cold or flu or cirrhosis or whatever it is, the condition that we're treating. And yes, 243 is by all means one of the most favorite remedies of everybody who understands what the numbers.
I
Yeah.
was thinking of getting a bunch and handing them out to everyone at my wedding recently for the day after instead of the Tylenol packs, but
Yeah,
I
that
couldn't
believe
get my
me.
hands on that many that quickly, so lots
I
and lots of
understand, but
water and
you're
stuff.
right. That would be a great thing as a
Right?
at a stag party or a bridesmaid
Absolutely.
party to give
Yeah.
to people, or New Year's parties, any of that type
Yeah.
of thing. It would make
Colleges should have
people
them on campus too.
100%. Absolutely.